Luigi's Mansion is one of my favorite games of all time. 10 years later, they made a sequel on the 3DS. And even later, we got an HD version on the Switch. Is it as good as the original? Better? Let's check it out. This game takes place in Evershade Valley. Lots of ghosts here, and they're all friendly. Until King Boo comes and shatters the Dark Moon into 5 fragments, and then all the ghosts become hostile. We do learn that King Boo escaped from his painting from the previous game because Professor Egad sold the painting at a garage sale. Why he did that, I don't know. But maybe somebody helped him escape somehow. Anyways, he's back, and he's mad. As Luigi, you're going to travel through 5 different mansions, through a series of missions, to get the Dark Moon fragment. Each mansion has a different theme to it. One could be like a jungle, another could be covered in snow and ice, another one could be filled with sand. Lots of different varieties here, similar to the 2D Mario games, how there's always like different themed worlds, desert, water. Unlike in the original Luigi's Mansion, where you would go clear a room, catch a portrait ghost, go here, go there. In this game, it's mission based, so you'll have a task to complete, and once you complete that task, you'll teleport back to Egad's bunker, and you'll be given a rank on 4 categories: how fast you are, how much money you've collected, how many ghosts you've captured, and how much damage you've taken. You'll be ranked from 1 star, 2 stars, and 3 stars. In my opinion, it's not a bad concept, but I really do prefer the original game where you could just keep going, you know? I feel like on here they just like stop the flow of everything by constantly teleporting you back. And when you like select the next mission, some of the stuff you've already collected will be gone. Just like, it's like, oh, I was already there. But sometimes stuff will be like you never even moved it, so I honestly just prefer how it was in the original, but the new mission structure on here, I like it. Luigi's Mansion 2 introduces not only the Polterpup, but the Darklight device, as well as a strobe light. In the first Luigi's Mansion, to catch ghosts, you would just look at the ghost and shine your flashlight at their heart, and you start vacuuming them up. On here, you use the strobe bulb, just hold in A, doesn't even have to be that long. The longer you charge it, the brighter it will be, and like stun them more. But that's how you catch ghosts on here, you just stun them with the strobe bulb. So it's a little different from the first game, but it's the same concept. You also have the Darklight device, which you'll find later in the first mansion you explore, in a later mission. This basically lets you reveal hidden objects. So you'll use the Darklight and just look around the room, and you'll see some particles, and then you hold it on it long enough, you will make the object appear. So there's lots of hidden stuff. Sometimes it's pretty obvious, because there'll be like a shadow on the ground, and it's like you shine it, your Darklight device on it, and it'll be, I was like, okay, so it's right there. So you can find money, hearts, you can find secret ghosts that might pop out. So definitely try to explore every room thoroughly. Each mission in this game will have a golden dog bone, and basically that's like a 1-up. So if you die, the Polterpup will come and wake Luigi up, but he'll like consume the bone. So if you ever die, that's just how you get revived. I honestly never died the whole playthrough of the game, but ghosts do more damage on here than the first game. Each time you get hit on here, you probably take like 20 damage, whereas in the original game, probably like 5, you know, maybe. In the first Luigi's Mansion, you had speedy spirits. They're these super fast blue versions of the gold ghosts. On here, it's no different. There's these ghosts that are called the greeny ghosts, I believe. There's a gold version of it, and they'll be hidden in certain areas and levels. They are fast, similar to the speedy spirits, but not nearly as fast. But when you capture them, they will give you lots of money. This game has lots of puzzles to solve, and some of them can actually be kind of tricky if you're not like thinking properly. But if you just keep trying different things, you will figure them out. But I haven't played this game nearly as much as the original, but I feel like this one had a lot more trickier puzzles, but nothing that I couldn't figure out within a couple minutes. Across each mansion you visit, there's going to be gems to collect, and they come in different shapes and colors. One mansion they'll be red, the other they'll be green, then blue. But be on the lookout for those, especially if you want 100% completion. They're not mandatory to progress, but they can be very tricky to find. And they're different colors in each mansion, so it's like, oh, this one's a red mushroom, but it's like it'll be a green mushroom in a different one, so it might blend in with the background differently. So they can be a little tricky to find. There's also booze to collect as well, similar to the first game. In the first game, they would appear after you let them all escape from that little trapdoor in the ground. On here, they're just available from the start, so there's one hidden in each level, and you have to look really, really hard to try to find them. But once you capture them, they have like an iconic quote, just like the first game. They say some like silly quote. And then you shine your dark light at them to stun them. You vacuum their tongue, and then you let them, you know, like Beyblade, let them rip. They go bouncing all over the place, and then you drop a bunch of coins you can collect. And eventually, once their health runs all the way out, you might have to do that like twice. Once their health runs out, you vacuum them up. And they get sent to the bunker, and there's a little canister. You can view all the booze that you've caught. Each mansion has a certain amount of missions. Some mansions don't even have the same amount of missions. So, like, the third mansion, which I think is the ice one, there's not even that many levels compared to the first mansion. So that's interesting. It don't bother me, but yeah, just I feel like later in the game, like the last two mansions are kind of like a lot quicker to get through, maybe. But the pacing's great, you know. You don't want like a million missions on each mansion, so I think it's fine. If you collect all the booze in a mansion, you unlock a secret level. And so these levels will involve you doing like a speedrun challenge. Try to catch these ghosts as fast as possible. So you'll be like running through the mansion on a time limit and trying to catch them all. Honestly, it's not very hard to get a 3-star rank on these, so very fun and frantic. Each mansion has their own boss fight at the very end, after you complete all the missions leading up to it. They can range from a spider boss to a giant face that you have to shoot bombs at. Lots of variety of bosses, and they're very fun, but they all involve this copycat ghost that has like 3 of them combined, and you have to like vacuum one up, and then the boss fight will continue. So each fight is unique, but you will end up with that 3-layered ghost you have to vacuum up. They're very fun and creative. With all the money you collect throughout the game, you'll actually earn upgrades, which is pretty cool. We didn't have that in the original on the GameCube. So the second game lets you upgrade your equipment. So you'll get an upgrade to your dark light, which lets you use it longer without it like overheating. And you'll need that because some dark light objects you have to like use it on, they require you to like hold it longer. And so earlier in the levels, you won't even be able to get those until later when you get that upgrade. When you're vacuuming ghosts on here, you will fill a meter, and you can press A to like yank the ghosts and take even more health from them. There's an upgrade that lets you get up to 3 bars. So with each upgrade, eventually you can like fill it all the way up and then yank the ghost to do even more damage. And then there's also an upgrade that just makes your vacuum just fill those meters super quickly. So if you beat Luigi's Mansion 1 on the GameCube, you'll unlock the Hidden Mansion mode, and basically the Poltergust on there vacuums ghosts super fast in that mode. It's very similar to that on here. And honestly, that would have been cool if there was like an earlier upgrade. But it doesn't matter. After a certain amount of upgrades, there won't be any more, so like that money will just go to the vault. Which, there's lots of upgrades, but I think that would have been cool if there's like something like super far off for like even more money. This game has lots of charm. I love the cutscenes. I love Luigi's dialogue. It's very adorable and silly. His interactions with EGAD and his idle animations in the bunker. Everything about it is just so creative, and I just love it. It's just so fun, you know?
Uh-oh. Hello?
Each mansion is going to have their own toad to rescue. These are not missable like the boos. You will find them because they're like built into the mission itself. And eventually, you'll save one, you'll save another in another mansion, and you'll meet Mario at the very end. He'll be the last one you save. Different color toads, and then Mario. In some missions, there are these little bonus levels, so you'll like open like a coffin, for example, and you'll get sucked into it, and it's a little mini game. There's like a snowman one where you try to like put all the lumps of coal on his face, and then there's like the typical one where you're racing for the red coins through a little obstacle course. These are not mandatory, but you will find like money, or even better, like the hidden gems you need. They'll be like in those bonus rooms, so definitely be on the lookout for those. Once you get to the end of the game, you'll fight King Boo. And this fight is very creative and unique, because in the first game, it was King Boo and Bowser versus Luigi. It's kind of like, oh, how do you top that? Because it was like such an epic fight. But on here, you'll be like racing through a mansion, dodging obstacles while he like chases after you and like rolls and tries to crush you. Then eventually you'll come through like a door at the end of those segments. There's like 3 of those segments. They're very fun and chaotic. And so once you go through that door, you'll face King Boo, and he'll smash the ground, and these objects will fall from the sky that he plunged into the air. And you just gotta like shine your flashlight at him to stun him. Just like put it in his face. You don't have to use a strobe bulb. And it'll distract him, and he won't move. And then the object will hit him in the head, and that's your turn time to vacuum him up. And once you get to like the 3rd stage within that segment, you can vacuum him up all the way, because the first 2 times he escapes. But yeah, very creative, and that was a lot of fun. Luigi rescues Mario, and he saved all the other Toads along the way. All the ghosts turn happy again, and they're not under King Boo's control, because the Dark Moon is back to normal. Great ending, and it's very like heartfelt, you know. And I just love Luigi. You know, he's such a great character. Overall, I love this game. It's so much fun. Despite the mission format they went with, it would have been better, in my opinion, if they just went and played it like the first game, where you just keep exploring, and then have like an end boss. But honestly, it's not that big of a deal. So besides the like, mission-based format, it's an amazing game. It really is. So much fun, so much creativity. I very much enjoyed it. I loved it a lot. And I just want to keep replaying it, trying to find the missing collectibles I missed. There's also a vault on here, so you can like see all the money you've collected, all the boos you've captured, as I mentioned earlier. You can see all the different types of ghosts you've caught. You can also see your upgrades. Very cool. Gems you've collected, so it's like a little museum. It's kind of like the gallery, in a sense, a lesser gallery from the very first game. But it's still very cool to look at. This game also has a multiplayer mode called the Scarescraper. And in it, there's 3 different game modes. There's like one where you have to try to find the exit super fast. One where you try to find all the polterpups that are hidden. And you're going to use your dark light to like track them down, look for their footprints. And then there's the other game mode where you just try to find all the ghosts. The multiplayer on here is actually a lot of fun, and it's very funny because you can like run into people and fall over, and there's just like so much stuff going on, and you like work as a team. They can be up to like 4 players, and you just complete the objectives on each floor, and you'll move up to the next one. Very frantic and chaos unfolding. It's very funny and silly, and if someone dies, you can like revive them. There's so much stuff happening. It's a lot of fun. People were sometimes like leaving the match. You can still play solo, but it's more fun with other people. But sometimes people would leave, sometimes they wouldn't. But not much lag either. Honestly, the frame rate was very consistent. There might have been lag like once for like a split second, but honestly, the frame rate was pretty dang good all around each match I played, so very good multiplayer. This game, in my opinion, is definitely worth the money. I believe it's $60, and it's not just like a remaster, it's like a full-blown HD remaster. They redid all the textures from the 3DS version. You can see like the stitching on Luigi's hat on here and his overalls. It's like a completely graphical overhaul. It's not just a basic remaster. They like redid everything. And the game is just so much fun, so like I definitely recommend it. Definitely go out there and play it. And I'll see you next time.